Hello, it's Lana. How are you? How is everyone doing? So today, we're live for another Let's Talk. So, I hope you're all having a beautiful Throwback Thursday. I know it's a little windy where I'm located. I'm on the waterfront here in Dunedin. And so in the comments, just let me know that you can hear me clearly and just start to hold space and start breathing, because this is a sacred community and a family where we are here to support, uplift, inspire, and empower one another. And so for the next week, those of you who are watching, if you feel inspired and you have something you're struggling with, please reach out to me and we'll coordinate a live video like this. Because if you watch the video I did yesterday with Michael, you may find that it inspires something in your life and maybe brings up some awareness that you may not have had prior. So when we talk about things, when we bring things to the surface, we become vulnerable and courageous enough to speak out loud what's going on within us. That's an opportunity to get through it. It's like sending a message to the universe that, hey, I'm ready to heal this. And so since I'm speaking about it, it's already set in motion. It's better than thinking about it because it's owning it. It's taking ownership and responsibility. It's coming from your power, because it takes vulnerable courage, which is a strength, to put it on the line and verbalize it and create the vibration and send out the ripples and say, I'm done. I truly am ready. I'm ready. I'm ready for change. Exactly, Lisa. Sometimes you do need to hear someone else speak it, and it gives you permission to say the same, whatever it is that you need to speak about, right? That's what's inspired me throughout my life, is just admiring and being inspired by other people living authentically through example. Not telling me what I need, because that's not what it's about. We can hear and receive all sorts of advice from people who are willing to give it to us, but if we're not open and receptive, we're not going to receive it in the moment we may have wanted it, because we have to be aware of the problem for ourselves. When someone else points things out to us, sometimes without the request, right? So how many people out there can attest? I'm very strong in my head from my childhood, and trying to ensure that my ego had control over what was going on in my life. And so for somebody to tell me what they felt I needed when I wasn't asking for it was very much challenging to my mind. The idea that, who are you to tell me? You're not in my situation. But when we own it and we go, whoa, dude, I got some crap going on up in here, and I'm willing to listen, and I'm open to receiving some wisdom from someone else. But you have to ask. You have to ask first. So real quick, I just want to clarify that Michelle Rachel Byrd will be the one coming on now. And then later, we're going to make an attempt for Jackie Saylor, because she was having some phone technical difficulties. So just to clarify, the mind is all about watching, serving, protecting us. And it's meant to be our servant, not our master. And I have had such a strong will since I was a young child that it was running the show. And I've learned over the years to soften within and to be kind on my mind. That this mind is actually useful if I wield it and mold it in the proper way that serves me and my soul's journey, my growth, what I need to evolve. Nothing happens overnight. And sometimes there's struggles, which is why I decided to do this series. Let's talk about the struggles. I'm here to listen, because we all need an ear. And if you feel you're open to receiving some information or wisdom or whatever it might come across for me, I am open to sharing what comes to me. Beyond that, I'm not here to fix anyone because nobody needs fixing. I don't need fixing. And I know what it feels like when someone tries to help you in the form of fixing you. Because that is the subtlest form of control, but the mind will say, but my intentions are good. Of course, our intentions are always good, because when you love someone, you don't want them to suffer, especially if you've suffered. But it's not our position to decide if the person is suffering to begin with, or that they don't already have a set path, that maybe the struggles they need to encounter in their life are going to serve them beyond what it is you think you can help them or fix them with, right? So if Rachel Merrill Byrd comes in, we're going to check here and see if she's on. She said she was able to get her phone. So let me double check, because I'm going to see if I can invite her on. My phone, oh, here we go. I don't see her on there just yet, and that's okay. There she is, but I don't see an invitation button. You don't have a camera. So, Rachel, can you send me a request to join? Oh, there she is. There she is. I love it. I love it. I love it. Bringing you on, huh? Here we are, holding the space for this beautiful woman that has, with grace, offered herself up to be heard. And sometimes that's hard too, because when we see you, when we hear you, we validate you. Hi, honey.
Hi, I made it.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
I'm gonna go outside just because my 2-year-old or 1-year-old. Hi.
So sweet. Look at him. I was checking out your little pictures. So adorable. Handsome fella.
Oh gosh, I know he's coming out with me. But anyway, hi.
Do you have any palm trees behind you like I do? I know you're out on Hawaii. Oh yeah, there you go.
My little garden.
Sweet.
And it's raining, of course. It's been raining for crazy days. Oh my gosh. We had record-breaking rain 3 weeks ago. Saturday, Friday were this cluster storm that collided, and we got 24 inches of rain, or 27 inches of rain in 24 hours. I've literally had a river in my backyard.
I can hear the rain dripping.
Yes. So, yeah. How's it going?
I'm doing well. I'm here to listen to you. So just put yourself in a nice, comfortable spot and just begin wherever you want.
Yeah, so I'm going to Austria on Monday, and I'm super excited. My mom and dad and sister, my sister lives in South Africa, so I don't get to see her very often, and she's there in Switzerland right now. And so we had this whole babysitter set up to help my husband with the kids while I was away. And so what happened yesterday was just kind of crazy. I got off work and came home, and the lady that's been staying here, she pretty much like flipped out on my husband and just like let him have it, like all her frustrations. I don't know what was going on with her. And so I came home to that, and I was just like, I'm like super excited. So I'm like, I don't know, emotions are kind of high and sensitive, I guess. And so I'm just like dealing with this. And then I'm like, I don't even feel comfortable with her having being here and watching the kids. So now I'm like, what's going to happen for 2 weeks while I'm gone? So, yeah, I'm just kind of dealing with it. One time. Sorry. Got the dog and the kid.
Okay.
Got to get them inside somehow. There we go. I'll just shut the door. This is like my life. This is like why I'm like, oh, I can do it, and oh, maybe not. But yeah, he's pretty good. He's 18 months old, or 19 months actually. So, yeah.
Will this be your first trip away from him?
Yes. And that's why it's even like kind of more where I'm like, oh my gosh. And then I have a 7-year-old, so she's not, when even the lady came to stay with us, my daughter, like, she has this like pretty good sense of character, and just, she was even telling me that she didn't want her watching her. And I was like, well, this is kind of the setup, and this is why she's here, and trying to explain to her that, it's kind of the setup, so I can't really do much about it. But now that this has happened, and I'm leaving Monday, I'm just like, what are we going to do? But I know it'll work out. I mean, we have family, my husband probably could just take a few days off here and there, and just not work as much, so he'll just be on 24/7 with the kids. And he works at night, so he's a manager slash server, and so he can kind of shift some things, I'm sure. And so, yeah, just kind of just taking it in, and I'm still excited. I get to go out of the
Do you
country.
have a set of earbuds? Just because I keep hearing a slamming that's super size.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's like into the chest. He's like occupied, but it's kind of loud. They're in my car. I could go out there real quick.
This is real life. This is real life, people.
Live.
Just, this is what happens. There's no right or wrong. We're going through life, and these are the struggles we deal with. In addition to, there's the physical challenges and the stuff that you visually see. It's the stuff that's going on inside that tends to create the atmosphere of the external, right?
Yeah, definitely. Sorry.
You're okay. You're fine, hon. You're doing the best you can, and that's the one thing you have to remember to pat yourself on the back for.
Yeah, I have no room to complain, really. I'm just like frazzled. Okay.
So we're getting a view of the garden and the palms. Beautiful.
Not bad. Okay. Yes. I know my phone's all wet. So if you ever want to stay here, we have this extra room. It's kind of torn apart right now just because I was cleaning it. But,
oh, thank you.
Come to Kauai. Stay with me.
So I know you had said before that you were very lucky where you're located on the island.
Yes. We're up in Princeville, so we're on higher ground. And just, even up here, it was like a good foot on the ground, and like a river, like I said, in our backyard. I'll show you like this whole area. I posted a video with this whole area, like
I'm
up to
getting a
here.
little bit of feedback, honey. There's a little bit of feedback, and I don't know if it's the plug-in or if it's the little.
Is that better?
Sounds like it so far.
I think it's because I'm moving everywhere. I'm like, I don't even know where the baby went. Just cruising. But yeah. Oh, he's into my makeup. Yay.
Artist.
Well, he just kind of got in. He didn't get into it, but yeah, I was like, look, Sky. Look. What is that?
Hi there.
Say
How are
hi.
you? Hi. See a pretty ring? Usually they like stones, right?
Oh, yeah.
Or bling, 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 right? A little bit of bling.
Yeah, a little sparkle.
Yay.
Hi. Oh, I gotta show you. Oh, there. Can you say hi? Wave. Say hi. Hi. Where are you gonna go? I have this Lumerian, and it's pretty awesome.
Ooh, nice. That big one's Lemurian?
Yeah, it's a new age Lumerian.
Wow.
I believe. It's really cool. It's got rainbows. And it's like probably,
That's a good size.
yeah, it's a good handheld one. Yeah. I work for this really amazing lady that sells crystals, and it's like just her passion, and it's like walking into another universe in her house.
So here's what I'm going to suggest. Find yourself a comfortable spot with it,
Oh yeah.
and let's see what else comes up for you. And maybe you want him to kind of. Would he take a nap on your lap or something?
I know, right? No, my husband's here. I just told him to take over.
Oh, that's sweet. Sounds like a
Yeah.
good balancing act going on there.
Yeah, he's like, we do every other day. I sleep in, he sleeps in.
Oh, nice.
But we kind of just roll with it if we're both up or if one of us is tired too. So, but more so taking our daughter to school. Okay, there we go. Right back where we started with my crystal. Yeah.
Is that the rain from outside that I hear?
Mm-hmm. These little drops that are in front of me right now, it was like a waterfall in front of our house. It was just dumping.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
It's all you, baby.
Yeah, I just hope that everything works out, and I'm sure it will. It always does. And just trying to figure it out.
How's the relationship with your sister and your mother? Are you looking forward
Good.
to this?
Yes. Oh my gosh. They're all already like posting pictures on Facebook and showing all their adventures. I'm like, I just can't wait to get there. So, yeah, it's kind of been a long time in planning. So it's like, now that it's 4 days away, I'm like, I gotta start packing and just really getting everything in line. I'm gonna work tomorrow I get a massage today. I'm like,
Exciting.
oh my gosh, I cannot wait. And yeah, my mom, she lives here, but they travel. My mom and dad travel a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So um, we actually rent this downstairs area from them, and they will live upstairs when they are here,
Mm-hmm.
which is probably like 60% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then they rent out the upstairs the other part of the time that they're not here. Um, and that's how we can allow somebody to actually stay here to watch the kids while I'm
Mm-hmm.
gone. And that was the whole plan. And now that it's kind of, I mean, just today, like I think the lady is leaving. I haven't even talked to her because I haven't wanted confrontation or any more like hurtful words exchanged, which was the deal yesterday. And it was just like so surprising and just out of left field. But it was it's good that it's happening now rather than when I'm gone.
Mm-hmm.
And then we can, figure it out. So,
Do you feel like it was something that was already bubbling up, or is it repairable?
well, there's like a lot, like, so her daughter came, and so there was like a lot of, like, I think we built up, um, not anxiety, but like expectations. And I don't know. I think she was drinking, so I think she was drunk when this all happened. And I had just gotten off work, so I was kind of just tired and wanting to unwind, and then it wasn't that at all. And I had an
Mm.
appointment, so I had to get to, an hour away at a certain time. So it was definitely like just a lot going on within a few
Mm-hmm.
hours. And so, yeah, it was just, I mean, today even I'm like, I really don't know what's happening. I'm just kind of like waiting it out and giving it time, which is fine because I have a little bit of time, but I would like to have somebody either staying here. I thought I saw an albatross and I was going to show it to you, but it's just an egret. Have you ever
Mm-hmm.
seen an albatross? They are
You know what?
gigantic birds,
Yeah.
like 6 feet wingspan.
Mm-hmm.
But never
Mm.
mind. It wasn't. They're all around our neighborhood because of the golf course. So,
Mm.
but that was totally ADD moment. Sorry.
So good.
um,
We
and
squirrel off every once in a while.
right.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah. So I really am just wanting to figure it out and have it situated, by Sunday at least.
Do you have a backup plan already in place?
My husband and I, like, we're just kind of waking up still, and um, we're
Mm-hmm.
gonna figure it out today, and most likely, and just call on her, on my sister-in-law, or um, um, brother-in-law, friends, just the community. So I'm sure it'll work out one way or another. Sierra, she has a 18, 19-month-old. She's like, oh, I get that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Aw. I've never really done live like this. I've never, like, I didn't know we can, like, connect and be
Mm-hmm.
just on there.
Yes. Aha, the power
Mm.
of social media. And
Right?
mm-hmm.
It's kind of crazy to me. I, like, think about it and, like, there's just videos and all these connections constantly. Like,
Mm-hmm.
never, you can't ever keep up. So, Mm. Where are you at? You're in Florida, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like just in a park somewhere.
Yeah. Pretty much on the
Like
waterfront in Dunedin. Yeah.
Dunedin.
It's
Nice.
a Scottish community. It was founded by the Scottish. Wait, Irish? Wait a minute. No, Scottish. Yeah, because they do a lot of um, the bagpipes and everything. It's actually kind of cool. So Dunedin
Nice.
is a very unique and interesting small community as well, which is really sweet.
Yeah.
So the power of community is amazing, and it sounds like you have a great one there. So you're very blessed in
Mhm.
that way.
Yes,
Have you
definitely.
kind of talked out or thought out how you're going to confront the situation?
I mean, I just want to say, I mean, there's nothing that I can really say to make it better because it's almost like
Mm-hmm.
it's funny because it's like mental awareness month, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure there's some mental stuff going on with her,
Mm-hmm.
and drinking on top of it doesn't help. So it's almost like I don't know when is the best time to talk about it, or even what is there to talk about. Like, besides, we've opened up our house, and you know, she's not into watching the kids. The kids are not into having her watch them. So it's kind of like, okay, well, this isn't working out.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's already almost known. So, not sure what else to say than that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so, it's just kind of like a waiting game to, I think she like packed up her stuff last night because she
Mm-hmm.
asked for a book back that I had borrowed, and that was like the last little bit that we said, and it wasn't like it was just later at night at like 8 o'clock at night. I was trying to get the kids to sleep or getting in the bath, and
Mm-hmm.
it was kind of like a random time. So I was like half undressed, and I was like, "Oh, here you go," and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it's just kind of an awkward situation when I feel like I've been really nice, and it was so like out of left field that this all happened. But like I said, it's better that it's happening now than
Mm-hmm.
when I'm gone. And I'd rather have my kids be happy being watched by somebody that's not drinking or, you know. So
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of a long story, like how I even know her. Um, I guess I'll just say it. So in 2016, when my son was like 2 months old, my husband went to rehab, and so I was kind of on my own with 3 kids. I had to like do a lot of shifting and figuring out, and um, then I had my son go with his dad in Washington, where he's still right now, and that's been really hard, just missing him. And
Mm-hmm.
but it's good in a way that he has his dad there who's solid. And so then my parents were leaving, so they weren't really around to help out with the kids, and I had to go back to work. And so I was walking on the beach one day and ran into this younger girl. We just started talking, and she was living on the beach at the time. She had just moved here to Kauai. And so I was like, well, like, do you need a place to stay? Because I need help with my kids. And it was just like the perfect timing, connection, and I had a good vibe. And she's been awesome. Like, She lived here for 4 months and helped me with the kids and was just kind of I was still nursing, so she would bring the baby to me when I was working, and it all worked out great. And she was just my angel. And so the lady that I asked to have come stay with us right now is her mom, Angelina's mom. So, I mean, Angelina still lives here. She has a boyfriend that she lives with, and so um, the lady that's staying here now has her daughter here, so she has somewhere to go. And I'm sure she can get a hotel room or something. But so that's like how I know her, and I really like trust people a lot, which is not always the best thing, but you gotta give things a chance and figure it out and work it out however it may work out. So I'm very trusting, and it's kind of gotten me into this situation. So um, just dealing with that.
It's not a bad thing. And
Right.
we trust is not a bad thing. And sometimes the question I would have for you is, how often does that inner voice or that intuition kind of go, something didn't feel right at a moment, and then you just kind of washed it away?
Right. Totally. I mean, there's a few times that I was like, huh? That doesn't seem the right, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
We need the contrast to recognize if we're on the right track or not. So it sounds to me personally, just from what I've heard, that it's okay it didn't work out, and that you've got a backup plan, and it'd be very simple to just say, I'm sorry this isn't working out for us. Thank
Mm-hmm.
you for trying anyway. And you don't even need to go into anything beyond that from what I hear. It
Yeah.
is what it is. And just bless it and bless her and moving on.
Exactly. I think
Yeah.
when I went to my appointment yesterday after it all happened, it was like the hour drive actually was a good processing time to just like, you know what? Let it go. Just let
Mm-hmm.
it be. It is what it is. Yep.
Om Tat Sat in Sanskrit.
Tat
Om
sat.
Tat Sat.
Oh, cool.
Or in Gurmukhi and Kundalini, we would say Satnam, because truth is our identity, and the truth of what is really just it is. You can argue it, but it's right there, even if your mind wants to perceive it in a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
Our biggest struggle,
Tat sat.
our biggest struggle is the mind trying to make sense of something that just is, and it
Yeah.
just goes into a crazy tailspin.
Right. Like the hamster wheel. I'm like on the hamster wheel. I'm like, how do I jump off?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how about this trip? You're going to Austria for 2 weeks, or
Yes.
Switzerland? You're
I'm
flying into
going.
Austria.
So I go from here to Phoenix, Arizona, to Philadelphia,
Wow.
to London. I meet up with my cousin in London for like 4 hours. I have a layover. And
Mm-hmm.
then I go from London to Innsbruck.
Okay.
And I need to
Been there.
like brush up on. You have?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Awesome. I'm like, I cannot wait. I need to see the world. I've been on this rock for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's not a bad rock, but it can be a little island fever here and there. And I'm always like, I'm from California, so I'm always like, a little stir crazy, but I definitely love nature and the beauty of this place. So
Hmm.
very fortunate to get to live here. But I am very fortunate to get to go on a trip.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It's not so difficult. I'll just tell you this. I think Innsbruck is where one of the military bases is. That's why I'd been there. So,
Over.
in one of my many passings through, that was a stop along the way. It's normally where the military would go for the skiing because you can stay on the military base and it's cheaper than the resorts and things around there.
Okay. Right on. Yeah, my mom's all about deals, and I'm sure she has us set up with like some cool spot that's not expensive.
Hmm.
I think she, with like all our miles and points and all that stuff,
Hmm.
I think the total of the like room and everything was like $600 for like airfare, room, and everything. I'm like, so I just have to pay for food, and I'm like, wow, why don't I travel more? It's not that expensive. Yeah,
Any anxiety about the trip?
definitely. I mean, just not, I'm not a traveler, so I'm gonna travel light, but I mean, and just being by myself too. I think, what was it, in February, I was by myself for the first time in my entire life. Like, I've always been with my parents, my sisters, friends, boyfriend, husband, kids, and my mother-in-law got sick in Tennessee, so my husband and son went to visit her, and my daughter at the time was with my parents in Mammoth, and my son with his dad in Washington. So I was solo for like 3 days, and I was like, what do I do? Like, what do I do with myself? Luckily, I had my dog and, another warm body, and I was like, just clung to her, and I slept a lot, and I cleaned my house, and it stayed clean. And, but yeah, it's
If I
funny, like,
recall, didn't you make a post in the group about, hey, I've got the house to myself and I don't know
yeah,
what to do?
exactly. I was like, I don't know what to do with myself. Yep, you recall right. It's like, okay, this is different. I'm like, this is how the other half of the world lives. Oh, but yeah, I'm going solo, but I'm meeting up with my parents and my sister who lives in South Africa. So I'm super excited to go traveling. I haven't traveled, I mean, out of the country since I was 18.
Wow.
So yeah, it's been a while. It's been 15 years. I'm 33.
Hmm.
I feel like I'm 53 sometimes. But yeah, yeah,
It
I'm
sounds like you're
excited. But
doing rather well, though.
yeah, I am. I'm not really struggling. I was just like, I want to talk to somebody. And
Hmm.
you're the perfect person because you're just so like bright and light and positive.
Thank
So
you,
it's almost
beautiful.
like contagious. Yeah. My it keeps watering. I don't know. Allergies, springtime.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Anything else come to mind you want to discuss?
Just the whole flood relief stuff is kind of, that was like traumatic what we all went through. I read this thing was like,
Mm.
even if you weren't affected directly from any
Hmm.
flooding or damage, it's still, our community, our whole pier
Hmm.
is completely, I'm sure you've seen photos,
Hmm.
and the houses, the road is just demolished down there, and it's like we have a completely new um, map of that area, you know, like I don't know what the houses are going to do, I guess, because they can't really live and build on a river, which is through their home now or through their property. And then out in Hyena is just they just made a trail for locals to get in and out, and it's only locals. I mean, there were so many tourists that were coming and going every day, which is good for economy, but it was like now that it's like nobody out there except the people that live there, which is kind of cool, but it's also kind of like, okay, how is this gonna, you know, how are you gonna make your money and get to and from work and, you know, even get supplies out there? I mean, for the first 2 weeks, there was helicopters back and forth, and I talked to my friend that lives out there, and she was like, it's like a war zone. Like people, like Army and everybody, Red Cross is coming to help and deliver supplies and help all the people out there. And so I wasn't affected directly, but just to know that that's the reality of this community is just very, it's a lot to deal with. And wanting to help, but also having to like work and maintain, you know, my normal life. Um, it's just kind of like I want to help, but it's almost like, how can I help in a way? So that's definitely been heavy on my mind for since it happened.
I remember you sharing the pictures and the and the information, like you said, and that a lot of people were. It's PTSD too. People don't
Yes.
realize you
Oh
don't
my
have to go to
gosh.
you don't have to go to war to experience a post-traumatic stress disorder. That's what that
Right.
is.
Totally.
Yeah.
Like every time it rained, you know, heavy, it was just like this fear, kind of like this anxiety. And like every time I even talk about it, I get chills. Like it was just heavy right now. Like, I mean, it's great how the community is coming together and helping one another, and you know, creating all the support, all the supplies, and there's specific spots that you can go, churches and community centers, and so it's pretty amazing that, you know, when something like this happens, that's when we all come together to help one another. And there's always the helpers. There's always going to be those people that are right there first responding, and
Yeah.
it's pretty awesome. It's the light. Yeah.
And also because even if you can't physically do something, I mean, just the thought, people forget the power of the thoughts, and the prayer is so much more powerful than we could ever imagine. It's a vibration. If you truly sit and feel it in
Exactly.
your heart, they feel it from you. It gives them
Mm-hmm.
the strength, just like you were speaking about, having community. The fact that people come together if you're not physically able to help, just the sense of knowing that you're supporting through just a prayer.
Mm-hmm.
We've been taught too much, I think, and conditioned in our culture to think we need to be there or we need to give money, which that in itself can also be insignificant. I mean, yeah, you could throw money to get
Yeah.
stuff, but that doesn't fix or solve or assist people like actually holding the space for those who are able to show up and do what they can.
Yeah.
Never
Definitely.
downplay any amount of intention. The
Intention,
intention,
exactly. It's what
yeah.
you put out to the universe and helps. It it's like that, you know, it's like a snowball effect. It can change things in the end. And there's really no ending.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Butterfly effect.
Yep.
what was it, the science behind how a butterfly flaps its wings in Brazil and then it just creates all of this vibration. And so there is no such thing as too small or too insignificant, because we're all that significant. That we're
Oh, I
not
love
just the
that.
drop in the ocean, we are the ocean, right? I love that too.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Awesome.
So my only last thing I would leave you with, unless you have anything else you want to share, would be just hold that woman in your heart, just like you do with the prayers for everyone on the island, because everybody will make it because of the power of intention, and even those of us who aren't there, who send the love. That she's clearly going through something, and
Yeah.
and you know what? It's all perfect. She served you for what you realize is just awareness sometimes, and yeah. I think you're in a good space. It feels good.
Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Learning from everybody all the time. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, beautiful. And I'm sending you lots of love on your journey to reunite with your sister in a foreign country, which is amazing. I'm jealous. A little. Just a little. You're taking me with you in a little bit.
I keep saying, like, come with me. Somebody come with me. Go with love.
Maybe
That's
we'll
so
go
true.
live from there. You can go live from there in the group if you get it. You can go on Wi-Fi in Europe like it's nothing.
Yeah.
You're going to have so much fun. I'm excited for you.
Thank you. I'm so excited. Just breathe and let it be. Thank you.
Thank you, darling.
Oh, the hearts. Oh. Well, I hope you have a beautiful day, and everybody else out there too.
Thank you. And thank you for joining me on this broadcast.
Yeah, it worked out perfect. Yay.
And you can just update us and let us know that it was seamless in the comments later when you go, oh, that took nothing. She was so kind about it, and she admitted, or whatever, like it'll be seamless. Ease and grace.
There you
Ease
go.
and grace.
Grace.
You've got that.
Oh.
I love you, I'm sorry, here I'm going, changing names. I love you, Rachel. Have a lovely evening, afternoon. It's you're still morning, 6 hours behind us.
Yeah.
I'm sending you love, kisses.
Thank you.
And loving embrace and hugs. And we'll see you again soon.
Piece of Kauai.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yes. Come visit.
And when you're ready, you can close out because I can't reach my little button.
Okay.
I love you, honey.
Love you. Have a good one. Bye.
We never know what type of struggle anyone is going through. We can never assume that when you recognize someone else is in a hardship or having their own breakdowns that have nothing to do with you, never take that personal. If you recognize it, that actually serves you with the moral obligation to be the higher person and to have compassion and to hold the space for them and not take it personal as much as possible, and to definitely just allow them. Sometimes people need to vent, and when you allow that, they hear themselves. That's the point of talking and listening, is hearing ourselves when we speak. and the other person will receive it as well. But it's really about you. It always is. Thank you, Rachel, again. I love you. You're going to have an amazing trip. So I'm going to end here. If any of you are interested in a one-on-one, intimate, you don't have to go live here because we're doing this for the next week, a one-on-one with me, send me an email at support@raw-authentic.com. If that's difficult, just send me a message. Again, I'll send you the packages and we can go from there. This is your opportunity, and when you're ready, I'm here to listen. And I can give you feedback if you like, or I'll just listen, because sometimes that's all we need. And if you're interested in doing one of these videos, reach out for the next week. I have a couple slots available still. I love you all. We'll see you next. Blessings.